And so, going out for another walk with the dog, with the mighty moose. Another journey around the evening time. It's after 7 o'clock here, and so I'm technically out past the terrible curfew. In fact, the grocery store here is closed. The bread place now is closed. The street should be emptying of people. And so the saga continues that we really are seeing between people on Facebook and obviously what's going on with the government and the normal citizens and friends alike and people we know, that this is really a divider that's being drawn here again over a topic such as the C virus. Due to the fact of the nature that there are those that believe that there is this terrible virus that's going to knock off God knows how many people. They watch the news, they see the images, and they're sold on it. And got to give me a second here that the almighty moose has taken a deuce, and so I've got to pick that up, of course. But getting back to what it is that we're talking about is that the people who believe that this thing is a virus, and there's nothing else to it, there's nothing else going on, no funny business. They are absolutely sold on this fact. There is little you can do, and they are defensive about it. They've always got their media, they've always got their television set, and the internet and their Facebook feed and the Twitter and all that other stuff, constantly reaffirming the fact that there are many people dying, extraordinary cases, youth, healthy people just one day up and maybe running in the park, and the next day, bam, they're stuck on a ventilator in a hospital. Very, very few moments until the demise. And then you have the people who obviously are looking at the very different aspects of this thing. Of course, if it's a American biological weapon put to do this perfect thing of killing off only a small little bit of people, but enough to make the media go wild, or was it China that did it? I don't know if too much reason for China to really get into things, but was it natural? Are they taking advantage of a natural situation with the disgusting situation in Chinese markets and stuff, that something could have happened? I don't know. Obviously, in time, virus and disease has come from somewhere, so then I doubt that it was biologically created, unless it was biologically created by something like ancient aliens or something like that. But let's not go that far and deep into things at the moment. So, but there really is this divide, and one thing that I always like to pose, I always like to ask those people who believe every last thing that the media is telling them is, if you had somebody that you knew that not so much a friend but an acquaintance, and but acquaintance that you saw often, but this acquaintance of yours in the process of your relationship has many times said just blatant lies contrary to the truth of a situation. They have exaggerated stories to glorify them over somebody else in a given situation, something that might have happened. So if you had somebody like that you knew, and they came and they told you something that was rather incredible, what would your first reaction be to totally trust that person? Now, maybe this person is a fine gentleman. He drives around in a nice car. He dresses well. He hangs with people of high places and all. But in the end, you've known him at times to be a complete liar. And so he tells you something. Are you really going to just jump and say, oh yeah, sure mate, no problem, until maybe proven otherwise, I'm going to believe exactly what you say? Or at least will you be a little bit inquisitive as to exactly what it is that he's saying, and would you maybe verify it and something like that? So that really is something that people who believe this entire C virus thing has become the extent that it has become in killing and showing all those here in Italy on the TV and internationally. They're showing all those coffins in some place. People saying they have no more room. Well, come on, mate, give me a break. There was like 65 coffins in the whole place. I mean, it's a city of millions of people. You mean to tell me that there's no other places, no other coffins for, say, it's like maybe they had a shortage before this happened, because it sounds to me already ridiculous with the type of numbers. So anyways, there's many other things that they're showing, and so I really take it with a grain of salt. Never forget the hundreds, the thousands of times that they have lied to us in the past. Lied to us about serious things like going to war. Take for an example of that young Kuwaiti girl that one time who said she was a nurse in a hospital, that they were taking the babies out of the incubator, the Iraqis who were invaded Kuwait, and they were taking the babies out of the incubators and throwing them to the ground to die, and they took the incubators, and in the end, that was found to be a complete fabrication. That was the daughter of the Kuwaiti ambassador. She was never in the hospital. Total BS. And that's not what happened. And that was exactly what pushed the American people to go to war. Of all the things that they had said before. And the media, silent about it when it happened. Okay, maybe you're so freaking ignorant that you don't know that is who's saying those words, and you don't tell that to the public. But then later, when you had to have found out, when everybody in the world who investigated the situation had found out, you never came out to say, oh, sorry, we made a bit of a mistake when we put that girl's, video confession there on the internet, and it made it seem like it was totally true. So always remember those kinds of things at these grave moments, and the thousands of others that the media has put up on that screen, and that we've fallen for, or some of us have fallen for, and then later turn out to be complete fabrications. And if you don't know of this, then you've got a lot of investigating and waking up to do. But anyways, here in Sicily, signing off.